So Michelle, tell me about your concerns and the changes you've seen in your face over the last few years.
I just think I've seen a real difference since I've hit 50 and since I've had the menopause as well, especially around this area. I just feel like everything's I look tired and everything's heading south.
Yes.
I just don't look the same as I did, and I know I'm not going to, but
Okay.
I just think I could look a little bit better maybe.
Fine, of course. So as we all age, okay, there's a couple of things that happen to all of us. We lose volume in the face and we lose collagen and elastin in the skin, okay? And it's a combination of those two things that contribute to what you see as part of the aging process, okay?
Yeah.
So if I focus firstly on your mid-face and then we'll come down to your lower third of your face, okay? So looking at your mid-face, so classically, we all tend to lose volume here in the mid-cheek. And if you look closely here, you can see this volume loss on both sides, okay? Now, when we lose that volume, there's a couple things that happen in the face, okay? So the volume in your mid-cheek here supports the area above it underneath the eye, right? So when this volume goes, the whole under eye area just looks a little bit more sunken and tired, okay? The other thing that happens is this medial and lateral cheek here, when this is youthful and there's volume here, you'll see it pulls up this nasolabial fold, okay? So when you lose the volume here, this fat pad that sits just above the fold creeps down, and we all get these nasolabial folds which get a little bit deeper, okay? So what you're seeing there is actually due to volume loss in the mid-face. And so what we need to do with you is just restore that volume, just as much as you've lost over the last few years, no more than that, okay? And just by restoring that volume, what you'll find is everything will just sort of lift up slightly, okay? Give you a much more youthful, refreshed look, okay? So what we'll do is restore this volume here. The other thing we'll do is just along the cheek here, okay? We can apply 3 tiny little injections. So if we sort of lift the skin back like this and place the tiny injection just here, one centimeter either side, very small 0.1 ml bolus injections, it will create just a nice lift here in the upper face, okay? So combination with that, with the volume restoration here, is just going to lift everything up ever so slightly, okay? So that's what we'll do today with the mid-face, all right? And then if we come down and sort of look at the lower third of your face, so again, what you're seeing here is volume loss in the mid-face, loss of collagen and elastin in the skin, loss of support towards the back of the face, causing everything to kind of move forward slightly. So ideally, what we want to do with you is something like that, okay? So there's a couple of things we can do towards the back of the face to help us achieve that first before we do anything towards the front, right? So just in this preauricular area in front of the ear, you have a deep fat pad which tends to lose volume over time, okay? And when we're young, this fat pad creates a lot of structural support towards the back of the face. So when this volume starts to go, things kind of move forward slightly, okay? So by filling that out with a little bit of dermal filler, you actually do create a little bit of lift in the mid-face, okay? The other thing is towards the back of the jaw, this lower third of the face, we all start to slowly develop some sort of laxity here, okay? So ideally what we want to do with you is kind of lift things back, lift like that slightly. So in order to achieve that, what we'll do is we'll place a tiny amount of filler just towards the back of the jaw and then contour up just to create a little bit of lift and definition there. It's tiny, tiny amount though, nothing drastic, because what we don't want to do is masculinize your face by making your jaw look too wide, okay? So just a little drop is going to just create a little bit of lift, okay? So this lift point, this lift point, this lift point will hopefully create a little bit of lift in the face. After we've done that, we can then start focusing on the frontal third, okay? So things we want to address here tend to be nasolabial fold, marionette lines, okay? So by lifting, restoring the mid-face and lifting from the back, it will soften the folds by lifting everything back slightly. But then we can take it a step further by putting a little bit of dermal filler just in the fold itself, just to soften it slightly, okay? So if you look at your nasolabial folds, the deepest part of the folds is often right here, just in the corners of your nose. We call it your piriform fossa, okay? So quite a really nice treatment is actually to put a deep injection just in there, 0.3 ml bolus of dermal filler, and it really nicely lifts up the folds, okay? It really makes a huge difference in terms of softening how they look. And then we'll come up with a cannula and place a tiny, tiny amount just under the fold itself. Very small amount though, of a very soft filler, okay? And then lastly, just looking at your lower third, this area here we call your pre-jowl sulcus, and it's a part of the face where we all tend to lose volume with age. Combination of things moving forward and volume loss here creates these little shadows that you see on either side of the mouth. Okay, we call them marionette lines. So by just fanning a little bit of a very, very soft filler in that area, that's that pre-jowl area, will just soften the transition between the mid-face and the lower face and soften the look of those shadows. Okay. So that's what we'll do today. Small amounts, just placed in the right places, just to give you a very refreshed look. Okay, we don't want to drastically change your face, right?
Yeah.
We just want to look refreshed.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's the aim of the game. And in terms of lips, are you wanting a little bit more lip filler today?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll top up your lips as well and give them a bit more plumpness.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, you've answered all my questions, I think. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, well, let's get you numbed up. All right? Then relax. Big smile again. I'm going to get you to get doing this, okay? It's really important to see how it looks, because when it might look good at rest, or it might not look like there's enough at rest, but then when you smile, I don't want you to have chipmunk cheeks, okay?
No.
So, okay. Pop a little drop in that side, and then I think we're done. Okay, Michelle, you ready to see how you look?
Yes.
Here you go.
Oh, wow. I can see a difference.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Very natural though.
Yeah, very
It's
natural.
not a huge change, but you can see you just look refreshed.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Thank you.
You happy?
Yes.
So I'll show you. I'll explain to you what we've done. Okay. So if you look at your cheeks, they're a bit less deflated. Okay. So we've kind of lifted everything up slightly. So we've replaced this volume, placed a tiny bit just along your cheekbones here, so everything just looks a little bit more lifted. Okay. Placed a little bit just in the preauricular area, a little bit towards the back of the jaw, like the tiniest amount. Okay, so if you tilt your head to the side, you see you have a little bit more definition here, and a little bit of lift. Okay, nasolabial folds softened. Okay, so you can see here where the injections are; these are softened. A little bit of swelling there, but let that come down. Okay, over the next few days, a little bit underneath each fold, just a tiny amount to soften. Then we soften these shadows here, and then a little bit in the lips.
Thanks so much. I love it.